Hello to my fellow history lovers and people who think if I learned something new today, it will be a good day. I am author Eileen Schnabel, and our question today is, what does it mean to say not worth a continental? Well, in 1775, we're getting ready to start a major war. We need to pay soldiers, we need to pay for supplies, and so Congress starts printing money. But there is a big problem. And to understand that, I'm just going to go back to last night, where literally my husband and I had date night, and I said, could we bring our tax returns? Because I'd actually like to dig in and understand it. He was a finance major, I was an English major. We've been married 30 years, so he knows I just like to learn. So we're the nerdy couple sitting there with our margaritas and going through our tax returns. Well, the difference between last night and 1775 is, in 1775, when the Congress is printing all this money, it doesn't have the power to tax. And you might think, well, that sounds pretty darn fabulous. That means you can have your margaritas and all the money you made is yours. The government hasn't taken anything. It all sounds pretty good. But here is the problem. At the end of our dinner, we're going to pay for the dinner. Obviously, it was more than $5, but work with me. And when we pay $5, we both, by I mean us and the restaurant, agree that $5 is worth $5. So if we paid them $5, they could go take this $5 and buy $5 worth of margarita mix. That was a lot different during the Revolutionary War, because remember, they're printing all this money, but they have no taxes to back it up. So the money starts to be worth less and less. So you can have soldiers with pockets full of money, and it turns out that where maybe you just needed $1, so to speak, for your shaving cream, I don't know what they bought back then, now you need maybe 4, and pretty soon you're going to need 5. So the first problem is the currency is being devalued because the government has nothing to back it up. They have no taxes. But there is a second problem, and that is as follows. So my dad, when I help him farm, he always gives me at the beginning of the week like a $100 bill and says, go take this to the grocery store and get our groceries, because I'm the one who makes the lunches when I'm down there. And if you've ever gone in with a $100 bill to a grocery store, they look at you like you're Al Capone. You've got some racket going on the side, and they hold it up and they try to see, is this really a $100 bill? Well, there's an even bigger problem because there were no safeguards back then. So let's say Congress is putting 3 of these into the currency, into the circulation, but counterfeiters were putting 3 more. So suddenly there's 6 in the circulation, and the value essentially gets down to pretty much might as well be a piece of paper. The entire currency collapses by 1781. So that's the phrase, not worth a continental, and that's the history of it. Anyway, thanks for letting me share. I will see you tomorrow.